See these lunatics fighting over a turkey? This is conflict. But in a more technical meaning, we can say that conflict is a process that begins when one party perceives another party has or is about to negatively affect something the first party cares about. So how did conflict then turn out to be the conflict we know of today? Let us look into the transitions in conflict thought. First is the traditional view of conflict. This is the belief that all conflict is harmful and must be avoided. The other school of thought is the interactionist view of conflict. This is the belief that conflict is not only a positive force in a group but also an absolute necessity for a group to perform effectively. After having a glimpse of the background of conflict, let us explore on the conflict process. The conflict process has 5 stages, which begins with potential opposition or incompatibility. What is necessary for conflict to surface are antecedent conditions which are condensed into 3 general categories. First is communication, second is structure, and third is personal variables. The stage where an opposition or incompatibility becomes actualized is in stage 2, which is cognition and personalization. Under it is perceived conflict, which is being aware that there's conflict with another party. And the other one is felt conflict, and it is when individuals become emotionally involved. Stage 3, intentions. These are decisions to act in a given way. Now we can identify 5 conflict handling intentions. First is competing, which is the desire to satisfy one's interests only. Second is collaborating, where 2 parties try to satisfy both of their concerns. Third is compromising, where each party is willing to give up something. Fourth is avoiding, which is the desire to withdraw from conflict. And fifth is accommodating, which is where one party prioritizes the opponent's interests. Stage 4, behavior. This is where overt conflict arises or when conflicts become visible. The factors under this concept are parties' behavior and others' reaction. And the final stage, stage 5, outcomes. The action-reaction interplay between the conflicting parties result in consequences. These outcomes may be functional if it increases group performance and dysfunctional if it decreases group performance. Knowing that conflict happens frequently, let's look into ways on how to settle these conflicts. One way is through negotiation. Negotiation is the process where 2 or more parties exchange and agree on the exchange rate for them. There are 2 general approaches to negotiation: distributive bargaining and integrative bargaining. Distributive bargaining is a competitive negotiation strategy, also known as win-lose bargaining. Its essence is negotiating over who gets what share of a fixed pie or a set amount of goods or services to be divided up. While the integrative bargaining is a negotiation strategy where parties collaborate to find a win-win solution. Now let's jump into the negotiation process. This views negotiation as made up of 5 steps. First is preparation and planning. Second, definition of ground rules. Third, clarification and justification. Fourth, bargaining and problem solving. And fifth, closure and implementation. Having all of those discussed, bear this question in mind. Are some people better negotiators than others? Well, there are 2 issues on negotiation that affect on how individuals negotiate. First is role of personality traits. This has a sort of, but no direct effect on the outcome of the bargaining process. While the other is gender difference. This affects negotiation outcomes even if men and women negotiate in the same manner.